I, I really want you all to focus on that energy component, because I think that's the key. I mean, if you show up for your day, or you show up for your family, or you show up for your life, and you're just kind of like, I don't feel that great. I didn't get a good night's sleep. I just wish I had more coffee. Oh, I have that too. Yeah. So that's an energy issue, right? And I have that too. I spent one whole day on my staycation on the couch doing nothing, and it felt so good. But then you can't sustain that. I mean, you can't sustain that. So and I know there are things like Tony Robbins gets up in the morning, and you can do this with me right now if you want to. He gets up and he does this 10 times. Okay, nobody's doing it with me, which makes me feel really silly. Thank you. And he calls it priming.
Hands on the wheel, Joe.
I was at a red light.
Okay.
I love that. So what that does is, not only does it get you a little bit of circulation going, but it gets oxygen to your brain because you're doing all that breathing. Oxygen to your brain equals energy, right? So hi, Ebony. I like your scarf. It's cute. So I think today what I'd like to do is just let us focus this week, and we can talk all day long, but if you don't implement, nothing ever moves forward. So if I could get a commitment from everybody that at least twice a day you're going to do that exercise of, I'm going to close my eyes and release what I was doing, and then I'm going to ask myself questions about how I could be more fully present in the next step or the next thing that I'm going to do. And then I'm going to talk about this because we've got a couple, Michael and Ryan and Ebony, you've heard this, I know, but because Joe and Melissa, I want them to hear this. How you start your morning is kind of how your day goes. So if you, and I can totally understand both ways because I've done both ways. If you lie in bed and the alarm goes off and you go, oh, and you snooze it, and then it goes off again and you snooze it, and then finally you know that you're going to be late if you don't get up. Well, then you get up and you go, oh, so sleepy, oh, and then you get ready and you kind of like, oh, and then that's how your day goes, right? You have to really work much harder to be present in your day. But if you set your alarm and you wake up and you get out of bed, and I also want to say that when you snooze, you're kind of sending yourself a message that you want to avoid the day. Well, I don't think that's a great message to send. So if we set our alarm and we get out of bed and we do some morning habits, like for me, it's prayer, gratitude, a little bit of exercise. You can do a 7 to 10 minute core exercise that is amazingly effective, and will get you, so the next day you can't walk, you have to drive with your elbows. But if you do a little bit of that, some people get up early enough to journal a little bit. I like to listen to a motivational video as I'm getting dressed, as I'm putting on makeup and brushing my teeth. I put on YouTube and listen to something motivational. And then by that time I'm like, whoo, okay, let me at them. And that's how we want to start the day. So when your morning, when your day, when your week, when you're year, when your life. And I think this whole thing about the transitions and mastering the transitions and the energy is a great big part of that. Anybody have any questions or comments so far? Is everybody committed to trying it at least twice a day? Good. Okay, I see heads nodding and I see some people going, whatever.
No, one thing I found that I thought, and it kind of plays into that, it was in that book, it was talking about multitasking, and how some study they did on people that multitask, like people that are good at it and do it, like what are they made differently? Like how do they do it so well? Because I think a lot of times we're doing more than one thing at once. Like you're lead genning, but you're also doing this and you're doing that, and you're answering an email and you keep picking up the phone and whatever. And I thought it was interesting that it said that your brain just really isn't meant to do that. And while you can do it, if you can walk and talk, right? But then if you, this really struck with me, but if you had to walk a tightrope, you would stop talking.
Oh, I
because
love
you
that.
like your complete focus. And if you had to tell an inexperienced pilot how to land a plane, you would stop walking, like you would. So it's like, if you really have to focus, then you really can only do one thing really well, and that, because I've always been a multitasking kind of person, and it made me realize, like, okay, you know what, you really do need to focus more on something you're doing and get it done, rather than trying to answer the emails and answer the texts and the phone and do all those things all at once, because you'll never get it all done.
And thank you for that. And I can't tell you, I thank you for that so much, Ryan, because I can't tell you how often I see people out to dinner and they're both on their phones. And I'm like, why are you paying $100 for your meal when you're not even going to sit there and enjoy it? So the other thing I would say about the one thing that we're going to work on, and I mean, there are more than one things, but we're going to work on the one thing of energy this week, because I think that's where we all need to start. Is don't, I mean, how would you all feel if I was going like this while I was talking with you all? It would be terrible. It's such a disrespect, I think. So if you set your focus timer, just start it, turn your phone down, and no matter if you get a ping notification that somebody said something on WhatsApp, or your email pops up, or something starts flashing, if you have to, bury it under something, put it under your shoes or in a drawer or something, so that you can truly give your attention to whatever it is you're working on. And then I'm going to say this, because it's kind of like when you go to the gym. There are days when you go to the gym and you think, I've got this and I can do more and better than I've done before. And then there are days when you go to the gym and you think, I just can't tie my shoes today. And those days, I learned from my trainer that those are the days that until you have mastery over mind and you can make yourself do things, that you just shouldn't do it, because you'll equate that experience with pain, and that then you avoid it. So it's important for us to set step patterns of success, and doing so in small steps. So if you can do 25 minutes successfully, reward yourself in that 5 minutes, put on a book on tape that you want to listen to, a fictional book on tape. That's my reward for my day, by the way, is I listen to books that will fill me up, to fill you up, to fill us all up on the way in. I do my work during the day, and then on the way home, I have this big fiction book on audiobooks, and I listen for 50 minutes to something, and that's my reward. So it's important that we reward ourselves too. And I love to hear some of the ways that you all would like to do that, because I think the rewards are just as important as the work. Otherwise, why are we doing it? Does anybody here have any good rewards that they do, little ones?
I haven't even considered that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm always so in the weeds.
Yeah. I think setting up the habit of work, reward is a really important one. Otherwise we can, and I can tell you this, in real estate, it's really easy. And I found that this week because I still had business to do, right? So even though I was on vacation, it's really easy to never let yourself have a day off. And it's really easy to never turn your mind off of real estate. But we have to really master that in order to not burn out. And once you burn out, it takes years, I can promise you. So that reward part is real important. That reward part might be going to get a cup of coffee. That reward might be picking up the phone to have a chat with somebody if you like to talk on the phone. That reward might be, taking your dog for a 5-minute walk, or petting your dog for 5 minutes, or your kids, doing a quick activity with your kids. And if you need to extend it to 10 minutes to make it work, you could do that. So just some ideas there. I'll talk more about rewards. Since anybody else have any ideas about rewards?
Well, it's funny, you mentioned that. I had never really thought about, because sometimes I'll do that. I'll finish a project, get something done, and I'll be like, yeah, I'm going to go upstairs and get an iced tea or a coffee or something. And it usually only takes a few minutes. And then, sort of look around, check on the chickens, and come on back down and get to working on something else. Yeah. But I guess that is a reward.
It is just mentally kind of giving yourself a relaxation. So then when we're doing this, once we finish that 25 minutes, we can take that minute and do the release exercise and the and then you could do the next exercise before you start the next activity. Don't even worry about it until, 1 minute to close your eyes, release, 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 take a break, reward, and then come back and say, how am I going to show up for this? And give yourself some guidance around that. And I think that will help us all be more energetic and more focused.
Sounds
Was
good.
this helpful today? And I'm
Yeah,
not saying
absolutely.
that fishing, I'm just saying that as a, okay. I always want your honest feedback, because that helps me stay on track and be better for you.
Hey, Candace, I've got a question for you.
Sure.
Who is that with you in the room there? I can't see.
This is Melissa.
Melissa, hi.
Oh, hey.
Melissa just joined us, last week?
Yeah,
Hey, welcome.
thank you.
Yeah. You'll love this group. I do. Yeah. All right, so I've got 3 minutes to go. Any questions, anything that's burning on your mind? Any other, we can go off topic a little bit if you want to.
So we can come into the office now for this morning huddle thing now?
Mhm.
Is that right?
I just like to invite myself places.
Yes, and I would love it if you all come in. Thank you.
What room are you in? Where are you?
Well, right now I'm in my office because it's just the two of us, but if I have more than that coming in, more than Melissa coming in, we'll go in the training room.
Is
So
Bill
it'll be
meeting
split?
also having people in person for his deal?
Yeah, and we haven't figured out. So if he goes in the training room, I'll go in one of the large conference room in the front. So we'll make it work.
All right, cool.
Yeah. So come on in.
Okay.
I might
I'm
just
happy
do that. I've sort of created my day around being in my office at 8:30, but I might be able to switch it up so I can be there. It's not that far away.
Yeah. So and what we find is that if you're somebody who is sorry, this got my eyes. My dog literally ate my homework. If you're somebody who has your routine down and it's working for you, and you're working and you're making progress and you're in production, then great. But if you're somebody who, a lot of us can get very isolated out there, and it's so easy to go, yeah, I'll start at noon. I'm going to turn on the TV and just watch the cooking channel. And I know this because this is me. I have to master my mindset all the time. I'm just going to turn on the cooking channel and I'll watch for half an hour, and then I'm going to get up and get to work. But if I'm in the office, guess what? There's no TV.
Yeah,
I mean,
true.
I suppose I could turn on my computer, which I do at night, but I need to work when I'm here, right?
Michael, thank you for the postcard.
Hey, no
How are
problem. You're
you?
welcome.
Thank you. I didn't
I didn't hear you 'cause
respond,
my
but I
speakers
didn't
were-
want it to go unnoticed. So thank you. And I love your personality. I never got a chance to say that. You were just so upbeat and just energetic and happy all the time. That is refreshing.
Oh, thanks, Ebony. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
How's it going with your house?
Oh, my house?
Yes.
My listing? I had 2 open houses this weekend, and lots of people came by. Surprisingly, though, I've only received so far 1 offer. I mean, it's an incredible offer. It's actually my homeowner's calling me right now. I'll call him back in a sec, but it's a huge offer. I mean, we're asking $550 and they're offering $585. So, but I'm also expecting at least 1 more offer this morning. So, yeah. We'll
And
see how
Michael,
it
for the new agents, how long has it taken you? How long have you been in new and to get
I
your
joined
listing?
Keller Williams in September, so it's been close to a year.
Yeah. So that's just so people don't get discouraged. I think it's important. And Michael's been doing tasks over time. So
Yeah, it's
yeah.
taken me this long to get my act together.
Yeah, but you did. That's awesome.
I
So
have a
anyway,
question.
Yep.
Michael, what's your favorite lead gen activity? What one
I
was
really
for you?
do like the open houses. That's my favorite. I like talking to people too. My sphere, talking to my sphere has been good. To me, I'm comfortable talking to people I know. It's the cold calls, it's the door knocking. I avoid that personally.
So Melissa, you were going to say something about coming in. Anyway, I hope it's 9 o'clock. I'm going to let you all off. I hope to see some of you in the office. I won't be here tomorrow morning. I'll be doing the huddle from Zoom. And the same for Friday, but I'll be here Wednesday and Thursday as well.
All right, great.
Yep.
Thanks,
All right.
Candace.
Thanks, guys. Thanks
See y'all
for being
later.
here. Good
Thank
night. Have a great day. Don't
Thank
forget to
you.
practice-
Have a great
don't
one.
forget to practice the release transitions.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
bye.